This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2021 3660 MB Sandpiper fifth wheel. Okay, so let's see here. Move towards the rear. Now this is not a floor plan video. This is not a sales video. This is basically just a basic how-to video. I'll go over some of the appliances, some of the features, and tell you about them, okay? So first thing, this is your LP quick connect right here underneath the trailer. So when your grill swings around, it comes with an LP hose, and you'll have to plug it in so before you can use it. You could also, any low pressure RV appliance, gas appliance will attach there also. Okay, so let's go this way. Now we have an automatic leveling system, ground control system by Lippert. You can see the jacks there. Okay, now you can operate that from the inside or from the outside of the trailer. I'll show you when we get around to it. There's a panel on the outside, and it doesn't have as many features as the panel inside does, the touch panel inside, but you can still auto level and go back to hitch height. So, okay, all right. So this your stairs, you can adjust the length of the legs just by using this lever right here. So you can adjust them to the terrain. You got outside speakers. You got a power awning with LED strip. This refrigerator right here, this works on 110 AC, so as soon as you plug the trailer in, it turns on. Okay. This is just power, and this is a port for a sprayer. You get a coiled sprayer with it, and you can connect it there. I'll show you that when we get to it. Also, you can hook up a TV here. You got a signal out right here and power. Now this right here is your battery kill switch. Right now it's on. Look, because it's horizontal there, it's on. But you can turn the battery on and off like so. Okay. The only reason you would want to turn it off is when you put it in storage, it won't draw down as quickly. But all other times you want the battery on because you want to be able to let it charge and discharge as part of its normal process. So obviously when you're pulling it down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge the batteries, so you want it on. And then when you're plugged in at the campsite, for example, your power converter will charge the battery. So you only turn the battery off when you put it into storage. Got two 30-pound LP tanks right here. Yes. This is an automatic changeover regulator. This is not a selector here. This is just a gauge. You point the indicator at each tank. It tells you whether it'll be green, it's got gas in it. Red, it does not. You should, because this is automatic changeover, open both tanks, and you'll hear drawing them down. So it'll draw this one down first, for example. Then it'll switch over to this one. So once it switches over, you can take this one and get it filled, and just keep doing it that way, and you always have gas. All right. You have a battery. 27 series deep cycle marine battery. Now this is your auto leveler that I told you about. This is obviously the outside panel. It only has a few different functions, but you turn it on by pushing both arrows at the same time, like so. Then you're going to hit auto level, and it'll level the trailer. When you retract it, you can retract all of them, but it'll nosedive because the front's going to go down all the way also, right? So what you choose is hitch height. Anytime you press auto level, the leveling system remembers the last hitch height. So it always stores the last hitch height. So when you're auto leveled, you're at the campground and you're getting ready to leave, so you push hitch height, and it will return the front of the trailer to the last height it was before you auto level. So in theory, you should be able to slide your tow vehicle right in there. You know, as long as the terrain is relatively smooth, you should be able to slide it right in there without any adjustment at all. in a perfect world anyway. So now the touch panel inside has more features, and I'll show you that when I get there. Okay, gotta pick up the pace here because I only have a half hour before this thing starts another file. So all right, so these are your tank levers, your black one up here, your gray one there for gray and black tank. Always dump the black tank first because it's toilet water and waste. Then you dump the gray one, which is sink and shower water, and it'll help to wash out the hose. Then you can take and hook the hose at the dump station right onto this black tank flush, turn it on. You leave the black valve open, you turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of your black tank and flush it out, which is a really, really useful thing. It also sort of sprays off or sprays the sensors off in your tank that tells your control panel what level it is, if it's full or half full, whatever. So it sprays those off too, so you can get a better reading. All right, these are just satellite and cable in. You can hook the same sprayer up to this one also. I showed you the port on the other side. And then you have your selector valves. Now I'm not going to go through all of them. It's all self-evident. Let's say the city water, which is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You were going to go like this. You look at this drawing here if you can see it, like that. So that would, you put your hose right on here, and it's going to work just you turn it on and you're all set. Now if you want to pre-fill the tank because you're going to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you go to power fill the tank, which is everything's the same except this. You put it in that position and the hose here will fill your fresh water tank, and then you can go to dry camping, which allows you to pump the water out of the tank and use it in the trailer. So you would put it, in this case it would go like this. Okay, so it's very simple. Winterize, sanitize, you can do all that from right here. Okay, so let me put it back to city water, just so it's good to leave it there. Okay, so now it's back in city water. Okay, very simple. Also this comes with a filter, a water filter. It's just a carbon block filter, but they'll take some of the well water taste out, and they'll take some of the heavy minerals out. They'll take out chlorine taste, that sort of thing. It just makes the water a little bit cleaner. A lot of people don't use it because they don't drink the water anymore. They use bottled water. But some people, like, let's for say, people like to have cooking water or shower water. They want it to be cleaner because it can smell kind of bad sometimes. So this would take the smell out. Okay, I went a long way to say that. All right, just so you know, this slide room here, your wardrobe slide, is called a Schwintek. It's still made by Lippert. It's made by Lippert now, but still referred to as a Schwintek. You can tell by the 2 gear tracks on each side. The other ones are just regular Lippert through frame slide outs. Okay. Let me look. This is your water heater. The switches to control it are inside, except keep in mind that this switch down here, it's an on and off rocker switch. It controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So right now it's off, but you could, if you're going to use the electric heating element, which is what most people use, you can flip this on, and then you can control it from inside the trailer. Just remember, never ever use this heating element without water in the water heater tank, because it'll burn out the element in just a minute or so. So keep that in mind. So this runs on gas or electric. I'll show you the switches inside. This is where you drain it right here. It's an 1 1/16" 6-point socket with an extension to get that in and out, but that's where you drain it, okay? Alright. Your fresh water drain is under here. I don't know if you can see it from here. Yeah, you can barely see it, but it's a white gate valve under there, so okay. Then you have you have your dump here. I showed you the valves inside the water docking station there, but that's where your hose hooks up. Okay, this is the vent for the range hood. So if you can see, there are 2 little tabs on each side. You push up and out, and it'll open the baffle so it'll flap freely. Anytime you're venting using the fan and the range hood, you want that open so the baffle flaps freely. But when you're traveling in storage, that sort of thing, you want it shut. So this is a 50 amp system, so you come with a 50 amp 30-foot cord. Okay. Talked about the grill. This housing up here tells us we're pre-wired for a backup camera. if you want to purchase one. You have a ladder, so it's easy to inspect your roof. The manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So you or somebody else has to go up there. Be very careful, of course. You can walk on the roof, no problem, but you're looking for cracking or separation in the sealant. You're looking to damage to the vent covers or the roofing material by low branches or road debris that flips up there, something like that. So you're just going to give it a good inspection. You do that every 90 days. All right, so let's go inside here. I'll just swing to the right real quickly. And this is the main control panel here. Your slide room's here, your awning here, lights here. Now the water heater, you have, trying to get this straight here, which we have here. Pump water. Okay, so your pump is right here, your water heater here. Okay, the switch I showed you for electric is outside. Okay, you can check your levels here. Empty, this is your black tank. Gray tank is empty. Galley tank, which is the second gray tank, is empty. Regular water has got some in it, but we leave a little in for the demo in case you want to test it. Okay, and your battery is totally charged. So it graduates up in 1/3 increments as it fills. And this is how you select between your second tanks. So this is a standard panel, so all the features aren't going to be necessary in this one. Let's say it only has one bathroom, for example, so you don't have to worry about black tank number 2, that sort of thing. Okay, so this device down here is your power converter. It converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So keep in mind that you want to, well, let me just show you here. I guess it's easier to do it that way. Let me get down here. So these are regular circuit breakers like you'd see at home, 110 AC, and they're all labeled, right? Then it converts the power to 12 volt DC. You can see the 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled, right? So you can, this is where the power for all your 12 volt comes from, this and from the battery. The thing is, when you're plugged in, this will also charge your battery, so it's going to keep your battery charged up front. So it works in conjunction with your battery, I guess is a better way to say it. Oops. Of course, like always, getting a part's the easy part. Alright, let me see if I can get there. Okay. Alright, so one last panel here. Sorry about my camera work. I know I'm all over the place, but I've got limited equipment and limited skills at the same time. So, okay, so this is your leveling system here. You can pull the plastic cover off when you're ready. It's just you know, something to keep it clean. So basically, you have, just like before, you have auto hitch height, you have auto level, right? But you can also move everything manually here. All the jacks independently of each other. If you scroll through it here, that was auto retract, manual mode. You go into manual mode and you can operate the jacks from right here, from these different positions. Anytime you want to select something, you can see plus and minus. You would select it, then hit extend or retract, whatever you want, so on and so forth. So you can do auto level like you normally do, and hitch heights retract, but you can also operate them independently here. Alright. So that's it. So this is only used for the leveling. All the other controls are right there. Okay? Alright, let's go back towards the kitchen. I'm going to pick up the pace here. I'm going to run out of time, like always. So, while I'm here, this device right here is the power converter, is the carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It'll detect a carbon dioxide buildup or an LP gas leak. If it goes off, you take everybody outside and you leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. Also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery is low. Alright, so you have theater seats here. You have a fold-out hide-a-bed here. You pull the back cushions off, the 3 panels fold out. They're foam. It's actually not a bad thing to sleep on, especially compared to the way they used to be. You can take these poles out of the table, drop it down onto these 4 cleats here, use the back cushions to fill in the space, and that's another bed. Your thermostat is like any other thermostat. This is the mode bar. You just scroll through it using the mode bar. Fan is the air conditioner running without the compressor. Always try to use auto, so high auto is real common. So for fan speed, if you can, always try to choose auto. Your refrigerator, very nice. Bottom freezer. Your microwave slashed vent, right? I showed you the vent on the outside that you have to open up in order to open the baffle up in order for it to flow freely. You got 2 speeds here and then off, and then you have a light, of course. All right. This is your range, obviously. Before I go on to the range, this device here, you have to lock this closed when you travel, so it fits right in here like this. In case you don't know, you thread it on there. You can actually do it by your one hand here. There you go. So you'll thread it in, and that way you're traveling, these doors won't fly open and damage, you know, get dents and that sort of thing in them. All right, so this system, this is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark. So all you do is turn it on, spark it, and there you have a burner on. You got 3 burners, 3 knobs, of course. This one here is for the oven. Now the oven has a pilot light all the way to the back on the bottom. If you can see, I can spark it there. I think you can probably see that. Okay, so what you do is you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the pilot light, you depress it and hold it in during the whole procedure. Then you're going to spark it with your left hand until the pilot light down here lights. After it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature. But when you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay, so all 3 of these devices here have remote controls. Probably here somewhere, I think, yeah, right here. So this, for example, is the Fireplace Remote. The Fireplace is a space heater also. So you can see right there, you just turn it on. You can also adjust the appearance of the flame, like so. Get a different thing going. You can set the timer. There's a built-in timer. So you could have it turn on, let's say, a half hour before you get up in the morning. That's low. I don't know if you can actually see it, but low, high, and off. That's the fan speed. So it has a lot of features. It's an excellent space heater. You can use it on those days where you don't really need to run your furnace. You know, you've got a limited supply of propane, but you got a lot of electricity coming in, you know, from the power lines in the campground. So you can just use this to supplement it, so you don't use up your LP. Now this is your sound bar / disc player, CDs and DVDs. You got 3 speaker zones, A, B, and C. A is this room, B is the bedroom, C is outside. It does Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or tablet. It has, I think you can stream off a USB right here. So it has a lot of features. Of course, it runs through the television also. So that's the other 2 remotes there. Okay. This TV, you can strap it. I mean, it's strapped shut, but it pulls out, and it's got a bracket that swings to one side to the other, I'm sure. Actually, if you look here, this is actually the release cord for the bracket. So you'll pull down on this, and it'll release it so you can move it around. Okay, let me move on here. Okay, so let's go to the middle room here. This is whatever you want it to be, a room, a guest room, or an office space, whatever you need it for. But obviously this folds up, and you latch it right there. This will also this couch will jackknife flat, and you can turn this into 2 beds, so you got 2 more sleeping spaces. Power here, you can charge your USB chargers here, so that's cool. You have a loft for kids right here. Okay. Again, sorry about the camera work, but this is what I have to work with here. So, okay, so the sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. Let me look at it while I look here. Yes, like any other one. Okay. Now this is the remote for your fan here. All right. Always run the fan with the shower. You want to pull all the humidity out, but it's pretty simple right there, pretty self-explanatory. This is one of the 2 GFCIs in the trailer. All the plugs in the trailer, including the ones on the outside, are wired through these, so you reset it inside. If you don't know, an RV toilet has to have water and chemical in it. There's your flush lever there. There's no water hooked up, so that's the black tank directly below. So what you do is when you get to the campground, you hook up the power and the water. You'll come in here with your toilet chemical. You'll put 1 dose right in the bowl. Then you'll step on the pedal. Water will come swirling it around into the black tank. You just stand on it till you put about a gallon or so of water in there with the chemical, and you're all set. Anytime you're starting off with a dry black tank, you have to put water and chemical in it. Otherwise, the smell will be overwhelming, and you can also clog it up that way too. So make sure you do that. If you don't do it, you'll only do it once, not do it once. So the second air conditioner here, and this is your controls for it. There's a backer plate here. There's a backer plate here, and you can hang another TV here. This is the power booster. See how it's on right now? You could shut it off, but it's for the antenna. If you don't have it on when you're using the antenna, you won't get a good picture. So, okay. Exit window. This is your wardrobe, obviously, which also slides out. That's the one I told you was a Schwintek style slide. You can pick up the bed, and there's storage underneath it like a foot locker. So we got that also. Okay. Alright, I think I've got it here. Let me just walk through and make sure. I think I've covered everything. Very nice trailer. I love they're so good these days about making them neutral, where they're not feminine and they're not masculine. And then your wife or you just trim it how you want, basically, but it's very neutral. So the trim, whatever you use to accent it, is what sort of makes the trailer. So it's pretty cool. So, okay. Well, I want to thank you very much for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit, and I want to remind you what I said earlier about every 90 days inspecting the seals. It's very important, okay? Thank you very much.